I got to give this plug to Waves, but we're using Waves tracks for the recordings. We heard that DAW. It was like it's a free program, and I'll turn this to me so it will comfort me. So it was a free program for the first week that it came out, and it was, the cool thing about it is it records like as many inputs as you have on your USB or your Firewire or whatever, and but it doesn't do any mixing stuff. So there's like no plugins or anything. And so it's for recording like a live performance. Mm-hmm. So it just records the waves, and then when it's done, you can export it for Pro Tools or just export all the stems at once. Mm-hmm. And what I like about it is it's 100% stable. So it's like, we'll just hit record and we could do this for 3 hours and it'll just keep going and going with a wave. Whereas like if I had Pro Tools running in there, there'd be crashes because it's trying to do so many other things.
Exactly.
This is just to get an input.
That's brilliant.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's a great program. It's
like the company Waves?
Yeah, the plugins guys. And I really don't know what their plan is for it. Like, not a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of talk too about the same thing with the UAD. Apparently a lot of the Pro Tools, the older Pro Tools like developers are now working at UAD, so there's a lot of theory that like they're gonna try and make a DAW soon.
That's funny because I read somewhere a couple months ago that they said that a major company was creating a DAW and was going to announce it. Like, I thought they were supposed to announce it at NAMM or something.
I'm surprised they didn't. It'll probably be like the next. Probably like the January one. They'll probably do it.
That would be crazy. It'd be interesting if they go the route too of what Slate's doing with the subscription model. For plugins.
Yes. The new Pro Tools is
and
subscription.
The Pro Tools thing,
At first I was kind of against it, and then as I started kind of looking into it more, I kind of like the idea of it now.
Yeah, do you do it?
It's not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. We're still running a outdated system.
We'd have to update all the hardware.
Yeah.
That's 1,000.
Yeah, it's. I have I think my subscription thing expires for Pro Tools next year, and I had it through a promotion,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not sure if I'll keep doing it. I think it's one of those things where it's like every time a new build comes out or a new version, I'm happy with what I have.
Exactly.
So as long as they don't come out with a new feature that's like I've got to have that, you know.
Yeah. Like we're still running Pro Tools 8.
Oh really? Wow.
And like again, part of it is like I'm happy with it. Like I know it's cool.
No offline bounce though.
Yes, exactly.
Just can't do podcasts.
Exactly.
They just came out with track freeze. And
yes.
That's been a game changer for me.
There's definitely a couple new features, like each kind of version. I'm like, ooh, that'd be really cool. Like the quick key for create a new playlist. That's to me like that alone is like the selling feature for upgrading.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I did the Slate thing because I love Slate's plugins.
Yes.
And I had I really only had one or two, or I had demoed one. I think I had two. Mm-hmm. And so he had this promotion where basically you get all of their plugins for free for 6 months or something like that, and then your subscription starts. Mm-hmm. So I'm paying $20 a month, and I've now got a whole new batch of plugins that I hadn't before. Mm-hmm. Plus, I got the 6 months free.
Exactly.
And then he's been coming out with a new plugin like every 2 months.
Yeah,
so,
he's really pumping them out lately.
I don't know. And I think they're great.
They're all, I'm a big fan of any of the Slate stuff I've used.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Well, listen, thanks, guys, for having us come by. And it's so cool. I got to tell you, I never heard of you before. Sorry, no, that's terrible. Let me rephrase that. No, because here's how it worked. I was thinking about coming out and visiting some studios, and I had some friends and some acquaintances in the lower city where that I knew of places that friends had recorded at or people I'd met. And so I kind of started making a list of places that I wanted to visit. And after I did, the 4 or 5 or 10 or so places that popped in my head. I was like, well, I better check Google and see what's out there. And so I found you guys on Google, like on the main page.
Excellent.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Hamilton Recording Studio, and there you are.
Perfect. Google's doing its job.
Yeah. I don't know who you're paying there. Yeah. But as soon as I went to your page and just kind of saw, like, I heard some of the music you had done, and then I was looking at your gear and the vibe of this old schoolhouse. I was like, man, we got to go out there. And so you're really only like the third or fourth place we visited, just because it was so
awesome.
cool.
Well, thanks for coming and checking it out.
Yeah.
So we got Nick and we got Kyle. So how did you guys get together, and how did we end up here in the schoolhouse?
So basically, I guess, kind of long story short, 4 years ago, I started trying to, put my own studio together. I was working at a few in Hamilton, and just kind of stumbled across this old schoolhouse, and it just kind of fit all of my criteria, exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, I spent about 3 months building kind of dividing up the rooms, building walls and stuff like that. So then just kind of started doing my thing for the next couple of years. It was probably about 2 years ago, I guess it was.
Something about that now,
yeah. Kyle was, freelancing out of Mississauga, and started doing some drum sessions here. And doing a few more sessions. And we started kind of working together a bit more through that. And then just kind of, I guess over time, the idea came of just kind of joining together and kind of both doing our thing out of here. So it's been, I guess, a year now since...
Properly, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a year since it officially kind of joined together.
That's cool.
That's kind of the long story short of it all.
So how did you find the schoolhouse?
Okay, kind of awkward. My ex-girlfriend's mom is dating or is friends with the landlord that owns the property.
Okay.
So when I was looking at places, I was looking originally downtown Hamilton for places. So it just so happened that he had this place that his son's band would jam in once every, 2 months or whatever.
Yeah.
So he wanted to rent it out.
Was it converted to a studio anyway?
No, it was one open room originally. Yeah. So
is it what's the history of the schoolhouse?
So it was built in 1873, I believe, 1876. It was used as a schoolhouse until the 40s. Which were still encyclopedias and stuff from the 1920s and stuff there that haven't read
the original chalkboard here.
I don't know if it's original.
It's old though.
It's a chalkboard.
Yeah.
It was here.
Yeah.
I don't know how original.
That's true. Probably in the 40s. Yeah.
And so it just basically just kind of sat empty until I took it over. So
did you do the renovations yourself?
Yeah. My dad and I spent about 3 months building it. Yeah. So at first we had no idea how to build a wall or anything. Yeah. I think the first wall that we built took us 3 hours, and just to frame it.
It's shorter than it would have taken me. For sure.
So by the end it was 20 minutes a wall type thing.
So this is your live room?
Yeah.
Your main room?
Yeah. So this is the live room that we're in now. So we do all of our tracking in here.
Yeah. One of the things we said, and we'll get some shots, but as soon as I stepped in here and just saw how high it is.
Yes.
It really is like a super ideal room.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as I walked in, the first time I came to see it, 14-foot ceilings and rounded corners. It's like, yep, that's incredible. Exactly what I wanted.
What are drums like in here?
Oh, they're great. They sound really big and clear.
It made me want to come back here.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Is there do you sometimes, if you want a different drum sound, do you do things that are different?
Yeah,
do you
totally.
The gobos or?
That was one thing. We didn't do a vocal booth or anything.
Okay.
For the same idea of, I like to kind of approach everything a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, we put the drums in different areas, move the gobos around to make different kind of spatial sizes. With all these new panels that we got recently, we cover different walls and stuff like that. Recently, we've been just covering the chalkboard wall.
Oh, cool.
And stacking them up, and just completely makes it a lot more dead.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's sometimes we'll flip it out so that the plywood sides of the goboys are facing the drums, and
that's really
different.
Cool.
Yeah, just experiment with different things like that.
That's cool. Yeah, it's nice to have so much. It's so versatile.
Exactly.
There's
And
so much
again, like same with like the vocal booth ideas. I like being able to make, if we want a real tight sound, like make a little box or have a wide open space, and being able to change it so it's not the same room sound for every record that comes through here. You know, can really kind of give each project its own sound.
Totally. And you got the sliding doors that you built here, so you can monitor in there when you're dialing in the drum sounds. And you do all your electrics out here too?
Yeah, we.
Is usually the player in with you there?
It depends on what it is. For real, like a lot of the kind of techie metal stuff that has to be very precise and a lot of punch-ins. I personally like having them in there with me, and the head will be in there so we can adjust the tone quickly, but have the cabs in here. But for more like punk and kind of hardcore, like where you want that noisy, messy, kind of sloppy sound. I like having them in here and just, you hit play, let them go right through the song, and they make feedback and shitty sounds happen. And so again, it depends it depends on the project a lot.
Do you have a genre that you like kind of gravitate towards?
I'm more of kind of like punk, hardcore, metal type of stuff.
I like doing like indie, alt rock, and then hip hop.
Yeah. Cool.
Some R&B too.
And which one of you, like, do you guys have different roles here, different, like, passions?
Really, I mean, it's the same.
We have things that we like and don't like to do.
Yeah.
I don't like cleaning the floors.
Okay.
I like cleaning floors.
I'll vacuum.
But as far as, we both do engineering, both do mixing, editing, all that stuff.
Who's the better editor?
Yeah, Kyle. I am terrible at tuning vocals.
I like editing. I think it's fun.
I always like when you're done it, like doing it, I'm like, oh, this sucks. But then when you're done, it's like, oh, cool, that sounds good.
You consolidate all the files, and you're just like, it's clean.
It's clean. Yeah, exactly. I know. Sometimes when I edit, if I'm like snapping something to the grid, or if I'm doing drums or bass or something, and like sometimes I'll put another song on, or like a movie, and just kind of like cut and move it. I know it's gonna sound good. If I'm doing it manually, I know where things should go.
I've either podcasts or TV shows for me.
Yeah. That's funny how that works.
There's just something that just kind of makes it go a little bit quicker, I guess. I don't know.
It feels so tedious.
Yeah. So I think I read on the website that you you went to school. Did you both go to school?
Yeah.
And is that how you met? Sorry.
No.
Oh, okay.
I went to Recording Arts Canada.
Okay.
I graduated in 2008, I believe it was.
Okay.
And then
I went to Melworks and I graduated 2 years ago, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's hard to remember.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I was curious about the school thing.
Mm-hmm.
How many of your peers from school went out to kind of start their own studio versus work in a studio versus not go into the music industry?
I'm going to say none.
Really?
I think there was about 50 people that were in my class. Of that, I know of, I think, 2 of them that are still active in the industry.
Yeah.
Which I believe both are now teaching at the school.
Oh, nice.
One's doing a lot of like soundtrack stuff, like film scores, which is really cool. But other than that, I think one of the guys I was talking to recently is now in school for electrical engineering, but is playing in a band still.
So what gave you the confidence to go out and invest in a place, invest in gear, and do it on your own?
Stupidity, maybe?
Yeah, I've got some of that.
No, I'm for a couple of years of working at other studios and still doing part-time jobs, full-time jobs. basically, I interned for a month at Phase One, and in Toronto, or I don't even know if I'd call it interning. But yeah, basically after kind of being there for a month and, hanging out in their rooms and stuff, kind of gave me okay, how do I make this work?
Right.
And really gave me the motivation to sit down and figure out the options of, how to get my own studio working.
What kind of stuff, sorry to interrupt, outside of gear and the process did you learn from other studios when it came on the business side, maybe? Or logistics?
A lot of what not to do.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Especially the first studio I worked at went out of business very quickly.
Really?
But they were very much, get the money, get the band in and out.
Right.
Who cares about anything else?
Yeah.
And so it's basically. My whole thing was just do the opposite of that. And so far, it's kind of worked out.
That's great.
But yeah, it's a lot of just kind of seeing what didn't work for other people.
Yeah.
And then trying the opposite of that and kind of readjusting.
I want to go back, hopping all over the place here, but I want to go back to the schoolhouse. And are you guys from Hamilton? Or you said you're in Mississauga, right?
Yeah.
And so do you live on this property, or
no, I live like West Mountain.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, what's it like recording? Some of the places we visited, all of the places we visit so far have been like in the core or kind of in the lower city. But like, what's it like for bands coming out here to the country?
Once they find it.
Yeah, I know.
I think that it's got a lot of kind of positives to it.
I think it was like a cottage.
Yeah, it's almost like you feel disconnected from life and the busyness of being in a city. Yeah.
No.
Really?
Yeah. No internet here. No like people trying to hassle you all the time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I mean,
nice.
you can't just go wander down the street to the store or the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
Which it gives a nice kind of seclusion to the week or the month or whatever it is that you're in for. But that being said, everything is also really close.
Right.
In that
you're not far.
Burlington's
It's like
10 minutes.
It's a fake, like that you're separated.
Exactly.
It feels it. You step outside your crickets. It's fake, but really,
Yeah,
everything's
everything's 10 minutes away. Like Burlington, Hamilton, Dundas.
Totally.
So I think it really helps kind of put artists in that kind of the creative mindset and get rid of any distractions.
Yeah.
Which has been really big for me.
Well, and it's cool. And I mean, just 'cause some of the studios I've been checking out too, there's not a lot of kind of rural options.
Exactly.
Like that, so that's cool.
Exactly. All behind here is just forest, basically, right?
So can you go late into the night mix?
Oh yeah, totally. Done
that's
drum
a really
sessions.
cool thing.
Yeah, we've done drum sessions at like 3 a.m. Like my band practices here, like we've done 3 a.m. band practices.
Amazing.
And have never had any problems. So
yeah, that's the thing is like, I mean, home studios are great compared to commercial studios. They have a ton of advantages.
Yes.
You can put your kids to bed and go back and mix right away.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of restrictions.
Exactly.
And you've got neighbors. You're pretty much done anything loud at 11 o'clock.
Exactly.
And whoever lives in the house with you
has
will
to put
hate
up
you.
with that. Oh, my parents hated it.
Yeah. My very first kind of home studio was in my basement, and it was a finished basement, but it was this tiny little room that had been divided off of the furnace room.
Okay.
And so
sounds very similar to mine.
Yeah. And so there was this wall and I didn't know anything about like gear at the time or like studios and acoustics. And so there's this little room where there was a door off of my studio and really honestly it was as small as like this area where the three of us are sitting. But there was a door off into the furnace room. And so in the winter, the furnace would kick on. And if I listen back to and the wall was just like a 2x4 and drywall.
Yeah.
There's no insulation. And you listen back to old recordings and like you can hear like a vocalist, you solo vocalist, and all of a sudden it click and then I don't know what I was thinking. I always just powered through it and never cared.
It just adds to the sound.
It adds to the sound, yeah. Except for like when you're comping takes and one has the furnace on and one doesn't. The stupidest thing is that like later on, as I started like building my own like gobos and different things, had I just gone out and bought like some of that like soundproofing insulation for $30, put it between the slats, it would have
exactly. But that's part of the learning process, right?
I
know, listening back to some stuff that I did, like when I started in my parents' basement, like you can hear my parents talking upstairs or like putting dishes away, like cooking and stuff.
So
loud. They do, eh?
It's hilarious.
It's crazy, yeah. Or like the beeper going off for like the oven, like all sorts of stuff. Dog barking.
I was just talking about like noise you don't want. I just got a Tascam Porta Studio, the 4-track tape recorders I got off Kijiji for so cheap. And so just last night I was like actually giving it a go and trying to record a demo. And I was like, I could really do a cool record with this, you know, like a little EP, like tape EP. So I was recording this demo, and as I was recording it, I got an email on my iMac behind me, and it made that big ding noise. And I thought, like, man, when you're doing tape, you want that hiss, you want that, like, noise or a dog barking, but you don't want, like, an iPhone ding.
Exactly.
From the analog.
Exactly. It's, a little bit too modern for the platform you're doing it on.
Exactly. So can you give me a little bit of rundown here with the amps? And I was just saying, like, I'm not an amp guy, but I know that people love amps. So what do you got, and what do you use them for?
What do we have? We've got
the Mesa.
Yeah, the Mesa 412.
It's a dual rack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the dual rack head, which is great for heavy stuff.
Princeton 1x12.
Yeah,
that's pretty popular, right? Like that seems like a good go-to to have.
The Morris 212 is actually a friend of mine that he got a piano at his house and didn't have room for this little cab anymore. So he's like, "Hey, can you hold on to this for me?" So
it's beautiful.
I use it all the time. It sounds great.
I've never heard of it before.
It's a guy, I forget his first name. His last name's Morris. He's in Welland. And he makes them all by hand. I think it's got V30s in it. But yeah, it's a great sounding cab.
Do you use this here?
I do. I use it all the time.
With this?
To be honest, I use it through the Ampeg bass cab a lot.
Wow. What do you use that for?
Nothing too kind of...
I bet this would sound great on bass, too.
It sounds good on not kind of like a main tone. I'm really into amp blending, so I'll put 3 or 4 amps together, and usually like that will be either like a really clean kind of twangy sound or really distorted, can't make anything out.
What do they cost? Like, it's pretty reasonable.
$150, $160. Yeah, and there's a little like 1x8 cab for it too. That's like $200.
Yeah, I got it.
That's supposed to sound really good.
I don't really have a cab to use it on, but they're just the coolest little things.
They sound really good, and like you can hear it over a drum kit. Right. Like when my band's practicing, a lot of times, like we'll just use that into like this 212, and you can hear it over my drums, no problem. It's amazing how.
And then we had talked about this at the last place we were at, I think, or the second last. But like, you really don't need a lot of volume with guitars in recording.
No. I mean, there's that certain point to really get them to open up and get the tone that you're, I guess, kind of after.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you can do that at like maybe 3, 4. Like you don't need to be at 9 to get a tone.
What's this little thing here?
So that's
okay. Oh, that's what you're talking about?
This old 70s amp, I think.
Yeah, I think from the 70s. It was by the front door when I moved in here for 2 years, and no one claimed it. So after 2 years, I'm like, well, I guess this is mine now.
When you moved into here?
Yeah.
No way.
And no one's claimed it so far. Funny. So
now when they see this,
if you see this, I will buy it from you, because apparently you don't need it. But it sounds really cool, and it's really old. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Guitar. Yeah. Back then, amps were made for
just amps.
Right.
For both guitar and bass.
Yeah.
So I mean, anything from like super clean bass or guitar to like the most distorted, unrecognizable sound. It sounds awesome.
Do you guys use amps for anything other than a bass or guitar?
Roland.
Yeah.
Oh, the Roland. Yeah, keys. Yeah, that's true.
The organ too. I'll put that through.
Yeah.
Right.
Princeton.
That's cool.
That the Sun amp there has a really cool spring reverb on it.
Oh, cool.
So like, sometimes we have everything set up so basically between the two rooms, any sound can be sent out.
Either way.
Yeah, into anything or out of anything.
Nice.
So like we'll reamp a lot of vocals and like just kind of like effects things through the reverbs of that or like
guitar
through
pedals.
this. Yeah.
You talked about amp blending. What does that mean?
So basically, the last kind of year or so, I've gotten really into amp blending. So basically, it's the way I've kind of been doing it more so lately, now that I kind of understand how to do it, is say like if we're using this as like your main amp, but it doesn't have enough, say, high end to it, or like it's too distorted, you want a little bit more kind of sparkle to it.
Yeah.
Say then you'll blend in like say this combo that will have all the high end kind of sparkle or shimmer to it, and then you kind of blend the two together.
When you're tracking, will you split the guitar?
Yeah, so we have.
Box in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the radial JD7, so it can send it out to 7 amps at once.
No way.
And so yeah, I kind of get what one is lacking, you put into the other, and kind of go into two kind of extreme sounds. Like you don't want them to sound too similar at all.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so then you kind of blend the two tones together, and it gives you the full tone.
And will you? How many mics on each amp?
I'm a 2 mics on each.
Yeah.
Kyle does sometimes more. Yeah.
Depends on what you're going for.
Exactly, but I find 2 kind of works for my sound. So it in
So
time
how
ends
do you
up to
mic
like 8.
it then? Do you want them to bleed into each other, or do you try to keep them as separate as possible?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're going for like the noisy punk stuff, then you don't really care.
Right.
Yeah, let's kind of set them right beside each other.
But yeah, you can move these baffles around.
Right.
We could put them in different rooms if we need.
That's
to.
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, again, it all depends.
I gotta
on the
try that out.
project. It's a lot of fun. It opens up a whole new world.
That's cool.
It's I don't think minus like a few little kind of like layer things. I don't think I've recorded just a single cab in at least a year now.
I got to get some more amps.
It's
Talk to me about the piano. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's old.
Was this here before?
No, I found it on Kijiji. From downtown.
It's loud.
Yeah, it is. It sounds great. It's a little bit out of tune.
That's a
Only like bottom.
Yeah, the lower so you get it.
It's a good out of tune.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
It got character to it.
Exactly. Yeah, I found it on Kijiji. It was super cheap. The guy was moving to wherever, Halifax, like in a couple days. So he's like, I just need to get rid of it.
Did you say free?
It was, I think, $100.
Is it heavy?
Oh, it was bad.
It's got a great finish to it.
I mean, I think it was
Beautiful.
from the 20s.
Beautiful.
The movers that I hired to bring it here, they estimated it was kind of mid 20s.
Oh, you hired movers?
Yeah. It's I think about 600 pounds.
The attack on that's, I don't know if it's because it's open, but it's
That's what I
Partially
think.
because it's open,
weird, eh?
Partially because it's an upright, and partially because it's not.
it's just got like a really nice like tick sound
Exactly.
to it.
It's
but
very
it's very
percussive.
soft, but it's got a cool tick. I like it.
Yeah, it's a great piano.
All right, guys. So this is. I didn't see this when I came in, which is probably a good thing because I would have been distracted the whole time we were talking out there, wanting to get in and
Kind of hard to miss actually when you
check
first
this
come in.
out. I know. I think somebody was blocking it. Start with the Neves here. It's just
The 1073s.
1073s. There's 4 of them.
Yeah. So
Wow.
they're preamp EQs.
Yeah.
Sound great on drums, bass, vocals, guitar.
Basically everything.
Yeah. Everything. Yeah. They're beautiful.
They're the 1073s are one of the kind of staple sounds that have been around for years. That
You guys were, no kidding. You guys were talking about, I just got the BIE 1073.
Yeah.
okay,
But, it doesn't have the EQ component, just the preamps.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But it was a game changer. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, their preamps sound just so
Yeah.
phenomenal.
That's great. Yeah. And so are these are up at the top here. Are these kind of your primary?
Those are
pre's,
the
Unless you're going for something that's like specifically clean,
Yeah.
like the APIs would be better for that. But
Yeah,
a lot of other things, I'd love them. It's just
Yeah.
so convenient with the EQ on it.
I don't know if it's more of a kind of convenience thing or just kind of like, hey, these things are fucking cool. Like they're impressive pieces of gear. Like put them right up top.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's huge. So this is something here that I'm actually really dying to get.
It's great.
It's a great
yeah, I highly recommend it.
What do you use that for?
Everything.
Yeah?
It sounds great on everything.
Amazing on toms.
Yeah, drums. It has very quick transients, a lot of punch to it for any drums. Guitars.
You put on anything and it won't sound bad.
Yeah,
totally.
Guitars sound nice and full. Vocals are really clear and audible.
So if you're doing this like double amping thing, you're doing an electric guitar, like an average electric guitar sound, what type of pre's would you use for that?
For me, for my sounds, what I kind of do would be, maybe one through like the Neves or like one amp through the Neves and then one amp through like the API.
Just so you get both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like trying to make them sound as different as possible.
Yeah.
Or like, maybe do like one through like the Neve, one through, the Germanium or like the Great Rivers or something like that.
The 1272 is great for guitar.
Yes.
It's actually
this one here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a replica.
It's a clone of Neve 1272.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I love that preamp.
What's the difference in sound between a 72 and a 73?
To my ears, the 72 is a little bit more smooth.
Yeah,
a little more kind of low end kind of fullness to it. I find the 1073s are a little bit more aggressive. And,
they really get the grit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My buddy has a Vintech 473.
Okay.
It's the 473s with a bit of EQ too.
Yeah, I was looking at getting one of those actually originally.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of all the Vintech stuff. It all sounds awesome.
They have a 273, which is just cheaper.
I also looked at getting that. And they have the single channel 1073 clones and the 1081s, which I've been. Those are what I'm after.
So we jumped over to this. What's this here? I'm not familiar with that.
That's the Sci-Tech MPX4A.
It's a replica of the Millennium.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So super clean.
Yeah,
it's very clean.
So I see these every now and then. The Chandler.
Yes, Chandler.
You like those?
Favorite.
Great low end. It's got the nice thick option and the feedback. So for like anything low, like bass, toms, kick, it's used on guitars a lot.
Any aggressive. I love them on vocal, like screaming vocals.
Oh yeah.
Anything aggressive, they're awesome.
Do you guys generally try to have like stereo pairs of things?
Yeah,
more or less.
It just it gives you the option if you have.
I like that too.
Yeah.
There's always like a preamp that I have. I don't have a lot of stuff, but and I'm like, I wish I had a second one of these. Because I want to do the same thing on the other side or whatnot. Yeah. Okay, so I know a little bit about the distressor, but I'm not too familiar with the mic key. This is a preamp.
And then the saturation compression section.
Okay. And how does it compare to the distressor, the compression? Is it just kind of a lighter version?
I think it's a lot less versatile compressor.
Oh, okay.
Like it only has like a couple buttons or a couple like set attack and release and stuff like that.
And sorry, you said saturation?
Yeah, it'll add distortion too, and the high frequency emphasis, you can add even more higher harmonics, and then it'll remove it at the end of the section, so it like makes everything respond more to like the high end.
Cool.
The preamp itself is pretty clean.
Is this a mod?
Flat.
This
mix? No, that comes with
it. Eh?
Yeah.
So that's just for the compression?
Yeah, and saturation.
And the saturation.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I was just talking to Mike here about this. Because they've got one on, they've got a mix knob on the Alicia, I think, the compression.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just asking him, like, do you think, I'll ask you guys the same question, do you think more equipment should have a mix knob?
Always, yes.
Yes?
It's the best.
Yeah, it is really great, eh? I wish that, I don't know if this would introduce, like, problems, but I wish it was more so on EQ. Sometimes, like, I'll set something.
I can see that.
And it's just like, that's exactly the sound I want, but I want just a bit less. But I don't want to turn down the boost, Yeah. I just want to, like, parallel it.
The good thing of it here is we have like the patch bay, so you can mult things.
Right, that's
you can
true.
Split it off, send a copy
And then
to
blend
something
it,
else and blend it back.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't
cool.
think I've ever seen an EQ with mix now.
There must be some
it's
sort of
rare.
reason, and if anybody knows, they can leave a note. But because I mean, maybe it's a phasing thing or something.
Well, a lot of the EQs work by like putting a delay into the signal. When you're doing the EQ, it'll put like delay into it itself.
okay.
It
So
throws off the phase.
yeah, so that's why if you
maybe.
put too many EQs, I guess maybe if they put the dry wet knob on that, then it would
Yeah,
mess with it
maybe.
even more.
There's got to be a reason. I'm going to Google it when I get home.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into that.
Because
I've never thought of that.
I remember it was actually on. I wasn't the hardware, but I was using the API 550 EQ.
Okay, yeah.
And I loved everything that it added to this track, but I just wish it could just like tone it down just a little bit.
And I love those EQs, except for that they're only in like the boosts and cuts are only in increments of 2 dB.
Right.
Which like sometimes 2 is too much.
Yeah,
it's like,
maybe that was
I
what
just
it
want
was.
1. You
Yeah.
know? Like I just want that little bit, and
Yeah.
that 2's too much.
Yeah. And so, what is the like? What would you be using these on? Sorry, I was just distracted because I was noticing you don't use screws on a lot of the things.
Oh no, that's literally just those two. I took them home.
okay.
I like to take them home and use them at my house when
okay.
we're not doing full drum sets.
Okay, cool.
I got a little bit lazy. You're attentive though. You noticed
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, these are gonna come out. I can take it when I leave. That's why I like
Oh crap! You gotta watch them.
So this is sort of like a channel strip?
Sort of
in
like
way?
a channel
Yeah.
strip. I find the compressor mildly underwhelming at times,
Okay.
unless you kind of just nuke the shit out of it.
Right.
The saturation is really cool on it. The preamp itself is really clean and lacks a lot of character.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
But I like using it on like PZM mics. On the Placid Audio copper
Yeah.
phone. That's my favorite preamp for the copper phone.
Nice. I love that whenever, it may not be the right decision, but it's your decision. And it's like, this is what I always pair this pre with this mic. And it's just something you get used to. It's the way you do things.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so yeah, a little
There's-
500.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's
Go
more preamps there.
Yeah.
I know.
The-
You know what? I was going to ask the last interview, I meant to think about this because we're at Threshold, and I might be wrong in this, but he has a ton of EQ.
Okay.
And a lot of his 500 series, I feel like he's got more EQ than he has of other things. You guys are preamps. I'm a preamp guy. I don't know what it is.
I love
preamps.
I always have. Those are like out of any type of gear, like preamps are the thing that I
And the funny thing is, when I was
Could
first
never get
getting
enough
into
of.
like a home studio and gear, I didn't understand what a preamp was. I didn't understand you need it. It's like you get a converter and a mic.
That's
What?
Yeah.
You need enough, and I remember my wife was like, I said, I need a preamp and it's $1,000. And she's like, what is a preamp? I'm like, I really don't know what it is.
but I need
it's
one.
$1,000 and I need one. And so now every time most of the gear I invest in lately have been preamps.
Yeah, I think
And
it's
obviously you as well.
And I
the
think
biggest
it's the
impact.
biggest thing. It's
like
the
of
most
anything.
Yeah.
It really is. I just plugged in my 414 into the new 1073 BAE.
It's different.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, and there's no way I could plug that into just a sound card.
Exactly. And I mean, it's the one thing that you can't, there's not plug-in emulations of. I mean,
they are now,
has some,
but
it's not
but it's
Slate
not the
has,
same.
yeah.
It's, and I mean,
No.
like those SSL EQs, like the Waves ones, they sound just as good.
Yeah, like
Sometimes
I'd say
they
the
sound
EQs
better.
are like the least important to have for analog. Like
It seems
Yeah.
it's
that
like
way.
preamps
You're right.
and then compressors, and then EQs are kind of.
And
It's-
I mean, even I find like within the world of preamps, there's so many.
Yeah.
Like more so, like there's a ton of EQs, there's a ton of compressors, but there's just so many preamps.
And
like,
I think that you guys have caught the bug, but I feel like the need to collect one of everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
I don't know what these channelers do, but my rack needs to have a blue and yellow
Yeah.
scheme at some point.
every rack
Everybody
needs
must.
a Chandler.
Like, I actually don't have anything API. I really feel like I'm lacking.
They're great.
They're really cool. My
They
buddy
actually-
just has been doing drum overheads with ribbon mics into the APIs.
Cool.
And I love it. I love that sound.
Yeah, I've always been a big API fan.
Where were we? Okay, so we've got some of the newer Neves.
Yes.
Those are amazing.
And is there some EQ in there?
It's not.
Filter.
There's the shimmer or the silk.
Saturation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
I don't have my glasses. I should have brought my glasses. So it's a high pass. There's a filter.
Yeah, there's a high pass filter, and then the silk is kind of like high end.
And then what's texture?
Shimmer.
Yeah,
that's the silk.
Okay, saturation. They call it all different things.
In the manual, it's silk, and on the box.
Do you like these? Are they nice?
They're one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I think
Kyle
they're highly.
Kyle, you said that about everything.
Yeah.
You're on your
I'm the same way. Like I'm at the point now where I've had old gear, or I've had like the cheap gear, and now I've been buying the good gear. And as I buy the new, the old game we used to play before we had like real gear was you'd buy something, a couple years later you sell it, buy something.
Exactly.
Now I'm at the stage where I don't want to sell.
Same.
And it's like,
I'm right there with
if I were to buy this, Lord willing, one day, I don't want to sell. Like, I've got this, one of my things I love a lot, but it's not even my top 3 go-to pre's is the Universal Audio M610.
Okay.
So it's like, the Solo 610s, the lunchbox, like it's the original rack mount version of that. So it's two rack units. It's a military blue. And it's one big ass black knob.
That's awesome.
And I found it for super cheap, but it's not my go-to pre because I don't think it's as good as the BAE.
I mean, a tube, like you can't use a tube on everything, right?
But it's I'll never get rid of it. I'll never get rid of it, even as it works its way to like my top 10 pre's. I'll never get rid of it. Sorry, I dropped your mouse.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I know. I'm the same way now. Like I don't think I could get rid of anything ever.
Okay, we got to move quick here. So we've got 2 SSL.
Yeah, the 611 EQs, which are based off the SSL EQ that every Waves and everything uses.
Totally. What are the Harrisons?
So those are Great River Harrison 32 EQs. They're based off of old Harrison EQs.
That's the board that Michael Jackson used.
Okay.
So yeah, they're cool EQs. They're very, I find them a little bit more kind of gentle than the SSLs.
Very airy.
Yeah.
Less precise.
Yes, you can't get as kind of surgical with them. They're more kind of general. The high end and low pass filters on them I absolutely love.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of my main thing. Like a lot of times, like if I'm not using, say, like the 1073 when I'm tracking vocals that has the high pass filter, say I'm using like the API.
Yeah.
Even if I'm using a different EQ to actually EQ, I'll still probably run through the Great River just to roll off that little bit of low end.
That's cool. What do you use? A lot of people talk about a high-pass filter and it makes sense to get rid of a rumble and to help clean up a mix. But what do people use a low-pass filter on? Do you find?
A lot on guitars.
Yeah. Electrics.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah. Guitars.
Yeah.
Gets rid of that fuzz.
And how much of it do you do?
Ton.
You use a lot?
Oh yeah, I'll go down to like 8K. Fuck it, just roll it all out.
I don't do too much. I like it's just a lot of personality.
Well, I love a dull sound. My recordings, I love like Wilco is one of my favorite bands, and I love a lot of sounds that just really like not a lot of sparkle. Not a lot of
I'm the same. I like really dark
stuff.
I love the sparkle.
And Kyle's the exact opposite.
Well, that's why you got. That's why you get good partners.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I find myself like just like taking like an EQ in the box and just like pulling off everything. I've taken a low pass filter on my mix bus and just like darken the song a little bit.
Oh yeah, all the time.
I usually regret how much I've done to it later, but
a lot of hip hop people just bounce it straight to MP3 and that cuts at 16K anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, that's true. I did my last record I did on vinyl, and that was during like the height of my obsession of dark and muddy and muffled music. And when I put it on vinyl, when I got the vinyl back, I was like, I think I went too far. Because like the vinyl adds its own warmth and doesn't have a lot of sparkle to it. You got a couple. Is this Kush as well?
Yeah. They're.
This is EQ here.
Yeah, they're both EQs. The first two are the Electras, which are more of kind of like a, I guess, general EQ.
I think they're great on low end stuff. Like toms. I love to track toms through them and run drum. Yeah, drum.
You guys must be getting like pretty close to the sound you want in tracking.
For the most part, We're getting close to it.
There's always the wish list that grows.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I love running stuff like low end stuff, drums through them. Those are completely different kind of weird EQ. So basically, they're boost only.
Right. Well,
there's no specific frequencies. They're just labeled as words.
Shimmer.
I forget what each of the
open, lift, sheen, presence.
Open is at 400 hertz, I believe.
Okay.
Lift is 800 hertz.
As if that's like a universal.
Yeah.
We agree. Open is 800.
That's what I'm trying to remember the other things, like texture or something.
I would have a little legend here if I were you. This is a channel strip here?
Compressor.
Oh, just a compressor.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
with a mix knob.
So we're starting into the compression with the mix knob.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's really neat.
Awesome.
It's a really cool compressor. It's
feedback like the preamp.
Yeah. Do you pair them with channelers just because they match?
Sometimes.
I would feel obligated to do
Yeah.
that. I love Warm Audio. They've come up with the LA2A now.
Yeah, and the Pultex.
And I have one of the Pultex.
Oh, do you? Oh,
and I was just realizing I
list.
need another one. But
Yes, you need to.
It's awesome.
I almost pulled the trigger on those a while ago. They're, I think, probably next thing on my list.
They're a great.
I love.
They're a great thing. I love Warm Audio. I think Warm Audio. I could talk about them for days.
Yeah.
I love what they're doing. They've come up with an LA2A, which you of course don't need, but it's. I just love what they're doing. Everything sounds good. Their reviews are good. They're
great price points.
Great price points, and the way they got to that price point is good. And moral.
And the quality's there. Like it's great.
Totally.
I'm a huge fan.
Really, really nice guy too. I got a question. Is this a rental?
Yes. That one is. Yeah.
This is hilarious because I did a drum session a couple months ago, and I rented their double channel preamp.
Okay.
And
great preamp.
We were just at it was great, and we were just at Boxcar, and Sean has the 2-channel EQ.
Great.
And now we're here, and you have the 2-channel compression.
Yes.
Compression. I think this is Long McQuade trying to get us into it. I love the look of these things.
Same.
And their API. Right?
Yes, the off-brand. I think I was probably about 6 years ago the first time I used a JDK product, and I absolutely love them. I've now used the preamps, the EQs, and the compressor.
So what is the compressor like? What would you compare that to?
It's its own thing.
Yeah, it's.
What do you use it on?
I usually, for me, mainly just kind of drum bus.
For me, vocals.
Oh, okay.
I love vocals.
How often do you use it in stereo? As a stereo unit, can you link them or
you can link and unlink.
Oh, okay. So this is a slave to.
Yeah,
this is the main one.
I never use them linked. Again, as a drum bus, I want that kind of separation.
Cool.
If the tom on the left being hit, I don't want the right to be compressed.
So Sean said that he's renting the EQ. Like this was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's renting the EQ. And he said he's gonna have to keep it. Are you gonna be keeping that one?
Yeah, we've actually kept the bill long, and we planned.
Yeah, I love how
we rented it for a month, about 4 months. 4 months.
Long McQuade has this great system of not even bothering you, just automatically renewing it on your credit card.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
They are enablers.
They certainly
That's why I try not to walk in there, because then you walk in there, you walk out with the Roland.
I know. Okay with the Roland.
Yeah, you went there for something small.
It's just mundane. You go there for like guitar picks or
and you came back with the Roland.
I went in to pick up these lapel mics to rent for $9, and I left with a $30 shaker. How does that happen?
Because you're like, why not?
I'm not even a drummer.
Why not? It's fun while you're there.
It's because I got these mics for $9. That's a great deal. I can spend money now. What's the DBX underneath it?
De-essers.
Oh.
They're.
I didn't even realize they're 500.
Yeah, they're the
cool.
like the analog de-esser. The engineer that's doing the new Daft Punk album with like Brown stuff. He's using them on there.
No way.
They're so soft.
I gotta get some. I love it. So they're
hard to find.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they new? They're not made anymore.
They're remaking them as like a 500 series thing, But these ones are like 500 series, but they only fit in like the old school 500
Oh,
series.
where did you come across them?
VintageKing.com.
Oh, you bastard.
Yeah, there's only, I think, like
That's cheating.
4 or 5 on the internet. And I'm like, okay, I have to get these.
I'm still too afraid to use them.
Okay, so let's first talk about the Placid here, because I've been hearing a lot about this.
Yeah.
And doing a ton of marketing. Everyone's getting one for their studio.
Yeah. You need to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And so, obviously, this is something you, like, this is electric guitars mostly?
Well, it depends on which one. Like,
or vocals,
I have
too,
a copper phone at my house. That one's a resonator.
Right.
So the resonator is great for, like, keyboard cabs, electric guitar, bass. Copper phone I love on vocals.
And will you pair it?
Yeah, you blend it in with like a 421,
right.
57
Nice.
or something.
Copper phone's also incredible on drum rooms for the worst sounding.
Really?
That trashy drum sound.
I very, very rarely ever use it, but maybe once every like 3 months, there's that one section where you just mute everything and just have that, and it's the perfect sound for the worst sounding thing.
I've got to try that. I got to hear some of the sessions from it. They look amazing too.
Yeah,
actually,
they're cool.
This is way heavier than I thought it would be. I've seen these online like nonstop, but it's a beast.
Yeah. All metal.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, they're cool mics.
Good for them. Placid audio, right?
Yeah, check it out.
Royer, a classic ribbon.
Yeah.
184s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are great to have.
Yeah, great overheads.
Okay, so talk to me about these. What are these called here?
So those are the 12 gauge microphones. Those are the blue ones. There's the red ones there as well.
So cool.
There's a black one, which is a stereo one, and there's green ones. So basically, the red ones are kind of, I like, overheads, drum rooms, that sort of thing.
Are they like alternative mics, like an affected mic, like the Placid?
Yes, to a degree.
They're
You're
technically
not telling me these are similar.
No. They're definitely
Because there's a
not
price
in the
difference.
same.
You said this is 40,
something like
it's
that. 35.
45 for each. US.
So the blue ones are the same as the green ones. They can just handle a higher SPL level.
Okay.
So like you can use those ones, the blue ones, on drums, like snare drums, guitar cabs, without worrying about damaging them, as where the red ones probably can't handle those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for the price, they're a cool little secret weapon.
Are they dynamic or do they need
condensers?
So they need phantom?
They're technically electric ones, whatever that means.
Yeah,
I don't really know what those are, but.
And we got a
Vintage.
87 vintage.
87.
Yeah, from 1979.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, sounds great.
What's this here?
So that is a C12 clone. I recently got into building mics and guitar pedals and stuff. So that was the first. Yeah, it was
I think I saw that.
the studio, or what are they? Microphoneparts.com.
Cool.
And they just put out a few different versions of it since I've done that one that I want to get into, get a few others. But yeah, they're super cheap. They sound awesome, easy to build.
Good for you.
Yeah, they sound really
And they sound good, eh?
Yeah, and for whatever they are, $279 or something like that. A lot of times, to be honest, we've got a Set 47 one as well.
Wow.
And a lot of times I'll do shootouts between, like when we're setting up vocals, between the U87 and the C12 and the RK7 one. And majority of the time, one of the DIY ones win every time.
Incredible. 421, I need to get my hands on one of those. I'd like to grab one of these too. I know there's a guy in Canada who makes Advanced Audio, I believe it is. He makes one like this.
Oh, cool.
RE20.
Yeah, great mic.
Where do you use this in the studio? As opposed to the 7B?
Well, I like it over the 7B in almost everything.
Really?
Yeah, like vocals, I use it on it.
Yeah.
Kick drum, it has great like off-axis rejection, so like it doesn't pick up anything other than what you want.
That's cool.
Great on bass,
give one a try. And this here, this looks...
the 441, the Sennheiser 441. It's great on, I don't know, it's not really good on anything, but it's kind of cool on stuff.
Oh, yeah?
The hi-hat.
Snare bottoms are cool,
Snare bottom. Vocals sometimes.
It'll pick up it's dynamic, is it?
Yeah.
And it won't pick up too much snare then?
No, it's super cardioid, and Like it's often called like the condenser of dynamics because it picks up a lot of the high end. It's still pretty fast, but yeah, so it picks up pretty much just right where you're pointing at. So it's like good for like hi-hat, brass. Good for like
that's cool.
Trumpet.
That's a great
sax.
collection you have there. I'm jealous. I just take one. All you have to do is give me one. Any of them. So this is a shining moment, Jay. I want to make sure you get this here. Let's get rid of this guy out of the way for a second here. The LA2A for me is like, it is just like, it is right up here as the thing that I want to one day own.
It is, but like it's hard to say it's like the best studio thing because it's
I
very
understand.
limited.
It's very limited, but it's just, to me, it is a work of art.
Yeah.
It is just a work of art. And I love all the clones that are coming out, and mad respect to all of those guys. But there's just something so beautiful about this, what looks like it probably powers like a refrigerator in a restaurant. But like, it's just, I just love this unit. It's my dream unit.
There's no other compressor kind of does what it does.
Yeah, I can see why you got rid of the LA610 too. Yeah, if you've got the LA right here. And then 4 distressors. Yeah.
You have to.
You have to have 4?
Yeah.
Could have got away with just 2.
Well, it's like multiple guitar amps, you know?
Yeah,
2 mics
true.
on each, yeah.
And this is very high up on my list.
They're very versatile. They're great.
And people say that you can get close to this sound even with something like
that.
that.
Yeah, you can get close to it,
You can get kind of anything. Like you can get like the 1176 sound with it. You can get the LA2A sound with it, or like its complete
or the
own
distressor
stuff.
sound. Yeah, amazing. Well, listen, thanks a lot, guys. It was really cool.
Thank you.
Sorry, buddy. Your website is schoolhouse.
Schoolhousestudios.ca. That should be updated soon.
And we'll post links to all your social media and everything. But it's been a lot of fun. You guys have a really cool place. And the whole idea about us getting out here and meeting people is that we have so much in common. We could talk for years about all this stuff. Yes. And yet we would never met if it weren't for Google, your out-of-date website.
Or paying off Google to get our jobs.
Gotta get that Google shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot.
Well, thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much.
Great place. Okay, thanks.